release that control that you're trying to have over your life, but it also allows you to be present in each moment. And I think that the more that we are able to practice being present, the more miracles and blessings we experience. Hello, welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we speak on all things wellness, from fitness and nutrition to meditation and mindfulness, healing, growth, self-help, and so much more. If you are a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I'm sending you that same love and support right back. Today, I want to talk about something that goes along with many of our previous episodes. But today we are going to be talking about presence and mindfulness. And I think presence is very interesting because people think of being present in many different ways. So the definition of present is the period or time occurring now. And the definition of presence is the state or fact of existing or being present in a place or a thing. So what I find to be interesting about being present, if you are actively present in every moment, then the past and the future are essentially non-existent. So that leaves no room for worry or anxiety or fear because you are allowing yourself to be present in each moment. And I want to talk about presence today and being present because I think that it's a really large practice that so many people fail to incorporate in their lives. And I think that a lot of this also has to do with just our fast-paced society. It has to do with the presence of social media, of everything just being at our fingertips. And it's very hard to be present in any single moment because we are so trained to be doing many things at a time. So being present or aware in every moment allows you to really connect to yourself. It allows you to become one with yourself. And it also allows you a genuine, authentic experience in everything that you do, in every environment that you're in every situation that you're in, because you are taking note of each little thing, each little moment, each little detail in every moment. Allowing yourself to be present also brings such a feeling and space and opens a door to true gratitude because you are able to take in everything that is going on around you and you're able to really feel the true essence of every moment that you experience. And this can come even just being present, sitting outside at a park or on the beach and being able to take in everything that you're feeling, every sense, allowing your senses to take over and allowing you to have a body experience rather than a mind experience. A lot of times if we're using our mind so much in an experience, we really truly are thinking about the past or the future. Most of the times it's the future and we are worried or we're trying to figure out what's coming next or we're trying to prevent something from happening because we have been hurt in the past or we have experienced things in the past that we don't want to experience again. So our mind likes to pretend as if it's protecting us from whatever is to come in the future. But allowing yourself to really have a full experience and embrace a full experience and use your senses to feel the sand in your toes, to feel the breeze on your face, to hear the sounds of the ocean, to taste the salty air, and really truly just immerse yourself in a moment. It allows you to be truly present, and then it allows you to clear your mind from the fog that is created of worry and fear. And ultimately, it allows your faith to take over. Your fears go out the window and your faith becomes what you are reliant on. When we are allowing ourselves to be present in every moment, we are accessing the highest version of our faith that we can, because we are not trying to control. We are not trying to produce, whether that be a feeling, whether that be an emotion, whatever that is, an outcome. We really, truly are just embodying whatever moment we may be in. And this also allows us to really, truly spend quality time. And that could be time alone where you are really taking in your environment. You're having an experience. You're tasting the food that you're eating. You are seeing the beautiful sunset and really taking in that moment and allowing that moment to fulfill you. You're also able to be present with the people whom you choose to spend time with. And you're able to really experience that person for exactly as they are. I think something that we are all guilty of is when having a conversation with somebody, our first thought is to be thinking of a response as they are talking. So they could say 2 sentences and you're already thinking of a response of what you would like to say back to them. But then they proceed to say 5 or 6 more sentences. And because you're thinking and you're trying to get out what you want to say, you're not even listening to those last 5 or 6 sentences, and you're not allowing yourself to be present. Presence allows time. It allows for space. It allows for stillness. It allows for quiet moments. And in a conversation, if it really is a true, genuine, thoughtful conversation, it's going to take some time of thought. It's going to take some time of understanding. It's going to take some time of recollection of how you truly feel about a situation. But it also takes stillness in being able to listen, which requires you to be present in every single moment and take in every moment that you experience. It's very interesting because they say that thinking about the past causes sadness or depression, and thinking about the future causes fear or anxiety. And that is because if we are thinking about the future, we're trying to prevent whatever happened in the past. And if we're thinking about the past, we are either wanting to go back to a similar time, we're wanting to have a similar experience. But the reality is every experience, regardless of if it is similar to an experience that we've already had, every experience that we have in our lives is different in some way, whether that be the time of day, whether that be the feeling that it creates, whether that be the people that are around, whether that be the season you're in. And I think it's important to remember that you can experience something one day and you can go back to have that same experience the next day. And chances are something about that experience is going to be different. We have curated a space now where we can usually go to some specific places and have the same experience. And that creates an expectation for us, because if you go to the same coffee shop every Tuesday at 3 p.m. and you see the same person working and you order the same beverage and you order the same food, chances are you're likely to have a very similar experience. The food is going to taste the same. The beverage is likely going to taste the same. You're likely going to have the same smile and same conversation that you do with the barista every week. But the environment could change. Not everybody is going to that coffee shop every Tuesday at 3 p.m., although sometimes that does happen. But I think it's funny because we are very much creatures of habit. And when you allow yourself to have different experiences, or go to a different coffee shop, or take yourself to a different beach, or take yourself to a different park to experience nature, you're curating a whole new experience, and you never know what that experience is going to build in you. It could build new ideas. It could give you a newfound sense of self. It could give you so much more that you don't even know you're missing out on, because you're so used to experiencing the same thing over and over and over. And, we all naturally in some ways are creatures of habit. I think that it is a very natural thing. And I think that it creates safety, it creates security, it creates obviously that consistency. But I think the more that you allow yourself to be present in life, the more that you are able to have experiences that are unlike what you're used to, and really start to embrace them, use them as almost an excitement and an exciting time, and allow it to build you up. Being present allows you to put your faith in any and every outcome that you may be looking for or seeking or trying to create and cultivate. And it allows you to surrender to that control, and it allows you to lean on your faith to let what is supposed to come to you come. It allows you to be grateful for the moments that you are in, and really feel that feeling of love and embodiment of gratitude, because you really are. They say this, they say, take the time to stop and smell the roses. But when you do that, that is an act of being present. That is an act of being in every moment. And we have gotten so used to running around and just going throughout our days on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. But we lose a sense of connection, whether that be with people, whether that be with our environments, whether that be with ourselves, when we start to lose our presence. So the more present that you are, and the more present that you're able to be, the more connected you're going to be, whether it's with whoever it's with, whatever community or environment that you're in. When you're present, you automatically have much more of a connection to that space. And that allows for experiences to happen that are beyond your control. And that is why I say it requires faith. It requires you to lean on your faith and surrender to an outcome, but it also makes for such beautiful moments that are authentic and genuine. Because truthfully, if you know that the same person is going to be at the same coffee shop every Tuesday and you're going to go, then you're creating that experience for yourself rather than allowing your faith to create an experience for you. And this is something I've spoken about before. You never know why maybe you spilled your coffee at home and it took you an extra 5 minutes to clean that up and make a new coffee and get out the door. And that was something that was out of your control. And unfortunately, you take that as a bad thing rather than putting your faith and understanding in you were not supposed to leave the house 5 minutes earlier because something else is supposed to happen in your day. And that could be a multitude of things. That could be running into somebody you haven't seen in a long time. That could be meeting somebody. That could be getting an opportunity. That could be saving you from being in an accident. That could just spark so many different opportunities that you are unaware of, but because you were trying to control the outcome, if you would have not spilled your coffee and left on time and rushed out the door, who knows what would have happened? Or if you would have spilled your coffee and not decided to get a coffee, or if you spilled your coffee and then went to a coffee shop that you've never been to because it was on your way to work, and you meet somebody that you wouldn't have met in that instance. And I think that it's really important for us to remember that we are not in control. And when we are able to put our faith into our higher power and understand that, yes, there are things that we can control, but there are also so many things that we are not in control of. And we can do our best to show up, and we can do our best to take care of ourselves and learn and educate ourselves and fill our minds and become better and take different practices and take different actions towards the things that we want. But ultimately, we are not in control. And when you allow yourself to surrender, you release that control that you're trying to have over your life, but it also allows you to be present in each moment. And I think that the more that we are able to practice being present, the more miracles and blessings we experience. And ultimately, the more beautiful our lives become, because we are not living for ourselves. We are just experiencing. We're not living in our mind. We're living in our body, having an experience, having a human experience, being able to really cherish every moment that happens, whether it be a good moment or a bad moment, which we all know, like, I don't believe in good moments or bad moments. I believe that every moment is happening for you for a reason. It happens to elevate you. It happens to grow you. It happens to make you better. It happens to help you flourish, bloom. And being accepting of that and surrendering to that is a huge practice that can be really hard to take. You know, I heard something the other day, and I spoke on this on my social media, but when you pray for flowers, don't be surprised when it starts to rain. The rain is going to come. The rain is inevitable. The rain is necessary for the flowers to bloom, for you to bloom. So in the times that you are experiencing, which I love rain, I don't think rain is a bad thing, but you know, sometimes it's like, okay, why is this happening to me? What is this happening for? It was such a beautiful sunny day, and now here's this rain. That has to happen. That is the natural ebb and flow of life. And you're always going to have the ups and downs, because the downs are helping you to move forward. They're helping to propel you. They're helping to give you that momentum and ultimately allowing you to bloom. And I think that that's a perfect reminder of just being able to surrender, be present in every moment, take every moment exactly for what it is, because you never know if you're going to get a moment like that back. You never know if you'll have a moment like that again. So taking every moment as if it's your last is such a great way to practice presence. And there are many other ways to practice presence. Practicing presence comes in all different forms. And a large way that practicing being present comes for me is through my meditation, because it allows me to become one with myself. It allows me to reconnect with myself. It allows me to have that body experience where my mind isn't telling me anything. My mind is an open book. It is open to receiving. It is open to thought. It is open to idea. It is open to the connection of my body. It is open to the possibilities. And when I am allowing myself that time to be present with myself is when I find myself most connected. And it's also when I find myself most genuine, most authentic. And that is when I am in the perfect creative state. That is when I am in my flow state. When you're in your flow state, you're able to be creative. You're not having to force things. Ideas come to you, thoughts come to you, actions come to you. And then all you have to do is act upon them, because you know that you put your faith in being connected to yourself, being connected to God, and you truly know that everything that you are receiving is exactly meant for you in that moment, because you were able to surrender. So Number one, meditation is a huge practice in being present. Another practice in being present is expressing gratitude. And I know that it's become a trend or a thing to wake up in the morning and write in your gratitude journal and express gratitude for the things that you have. And I think that's beautiful. I would love that. But I think it's so much more than that. And being able to express gratitude in each moment and take a step outside and feel the sunlight on your face and express gratitude for that, that is when you are being present, because you are aware of your surroundings. You're aware of the things that are around you. You're aware of the things that God is giving to you and showing you, and you're able to give gratitude and experience that and express that. I think that us being able to have gratitude in every moment is a thank you to God. It's a thank you to yourself for allowing that faith. And it's such a beautiful moment. So when you're able to find moments where it's every day, you're moving around, but all it takes is 5 seconds to slow down and notice that flower wasn't there yesterday. And how beautiful is that? How beautiful is life? To slow down and notice a tree that, who knows, it's probably been there for hundreds of years and you had no idea. How beautiful is that tree really has been growing there in that exact spot for hundreds of years. And expressing gratitude for those moments allows you the presence. It allows you to be grateful for everything that surrounds you, even the people that you meet. You know, people can be in any state when you encounter them. And the fact that you encounter them at an exact time is so beautiful, because maybe they're showing you something in you that you don't see. Or maybe it's a perfect reminder of where you came from and how far you've come and how much you've grown. Or maybe it's a perfect reminder to show love and spread compassion, because you never know what people are going through. And when you're able to really allow your mind to be used for the greater good and allow your mind to be present in every moment, rather than allowing your mind to take control of your worries and fears and anxieties, is when your life is just so beautiful, and when it's full of purpose, it's full of intention, it's full of faith, of gratitude, of love, and it's authentic, it's genuine. And it's so beautiful. And I keep saying that, but it really is. And I just want everybody to be able to have those experiences on the regular, from day to day, because the more that we are all able to create and cultivate and allow and surrender to those experiences, the more that we're going to have connection with one another, the more we're going to have connection with our environment, with the world, with nature, with any and everything. Another way that I love to practice being present is through breath work. There is nothing like being able to have that mind-body connection and feel your body functioning and connect with your body in a way that you typically don't do, because we breathe every day, all day, every day, and we don't have to think about it. But when you're able to slow down and think about your breath and think about how your breath really is what gives you life, you're able to connect and you're able to really just allow your body to function, but take note and recognize and be grateful for your body functioning on its own without you having to consciously tell it to every single moment, is incredible. It allows you to find that connection with yourself that you may not otherwise have. And this is something that I talk about as I go through my sound sessions. And sometimes it can be really hard for people to stay present as I'm playing the bowls, as we're going through a sound bath, and as somebody is laying through a sound session. And the two things that I remind them of before we start our practice in order to stay present is staying aware of your breath and being aware of where you are feeling the frequencies throughout your body. So that is something else that I use to practice being present in every moment is sound. It allows you to feel these frequencies entering your body, filling your body, healing your cells. And again, it's just another form of allowance and letting human nature do its thing, allowing your body to experience this frequency entering your body, doing whatever it is inside of your body that it's doing, whether it's releasing energy, whether it's bringing in energy, whether it is just elevating you. And when you're able to really lay down and experience each frequency that you feel throughout your body or connect with your breath, then you find this mind-body connection that you may never even knew that you had, because you don't have to think about if you want to put your hand out. It just happens. But when you're able to appreciate your body for the functions and its everyday function that it does for you, it creates a whole new sense of presence. A whole new sense of presence. And this can be the same thing. It was something I spoke on earlier, noticing the flower that just bloomed overnight or the tree that's been there for 100 years. But surrounding yourself in nature is such a great way to find presence. It's such a great way to bring perspective to your life, the things that you have control of, the things that you don't have control of. Something that I have said time and time again is you go out into nature, you go onto the top of a mountain, you go and sit in front of the ocean, and you feel this big. Any problem or worry or stress or fear that you may be having becomes so irrelevant, because the depths of the ocean or the depths of the valleys that you're seeing when you're in the mountains are huge. And it makes you feel this big compared to this earth that we're on, compared to this universe that we are in. And it allows you to just realize that you are just here, and you are here to have experiences. You are not here to control experiences. You're not here to control other people. And when you allow yourself those experiences, that is when you truly start to live your life. You are becoming present, and your life becomes so much more beautiful because you're taking in and you're observant of every little thing, rather than allowing your life and your mind to control you. This doesn't have much to do with presence, but it has a lot to do with mindfulness. And I heard something just yesterday, and somebody was talking about we can spend our time creating a story or worrying. But what if you were to use that same exact energy into imagining the possibilities, imagining what could go right, imagining the great things that can happen? Because either way, it costs you the same amount of energy. So why would you not pour into the positive things and start to believe and hope and wish for and put your faith in the positive things, rather than focusing on trying to control and allowing the fear of whatever outcome it is to control you? When you take control but surrender at the same time, you find so much peace. You're able to breathe. You're able to move through every moment in life, understanding that everything is happening for you. Everything you experience, every encounter, every mistake, anything that happens to you is happening for you in in order for you to become the best version of yourself. But if you're not allowing these things to happen and you're controlling and you have a grasp on your life like this tight, you're never going to be able to experience the true, genuine purpose that God has for your life. Another thing that I use to find presence so often is being creative, finding something creative to participate in, to do. And it allows you to turn that control in your brain off. It allows you to focus on whatever task is at hand, whatever task is in front of you. And the goal would be to clear all of that clutter and all of these other thoughts and worries and stresses and anxieties and fears out of your mind to just be able to create whatever it is that is in front of you. And that could be you cooking, that could be you painting, coloring. Creativity comes in so many different ways, even writing, even allowing your mind to be so clear that the thoughts and ideas that come to you are so creative and you're able to just flow. But finding the practice of allowing your mind to turn off when you are allowing yourself to be creative, allowing your mind and your body and your spirit to flow in the creative process is something that's a practice, because sometimes when we're being creative, we don't realize that we're not being creative to be creative. We're being creative to create a product or an outcome, and that isn't creativity. If you're creating with a exact vision in mind, there's no flow to that. There is no creativity, because allowing yourself to be creative is allowing yourself to be present in the moment and letting the flow happen, letting your mind wander enough to go off the path, letting your mind wander enough to create something or paint something or cook something that you have never experienced before, and allowing the possibilities to come to you and show and reflect in whatever creative process you choose to partake in is allowing yourself to be present and allowing yourself to not care what the outcome is, to not care what you may have created before, but whatever you are creating right now is going to be absolutely beautiful, because you've never created something like this before and you never will. I have become a master at my spicy vodka pasta, a master. But every single time it tastes different. But I don't follow like a recipe. I just go off of what I did the last time. And then sometimes I add a little bit more spice. There was one time it was so spicy, like we could barely eat it. We were sweating. But that is what makes it fun. That's what makes the experience. And that's also what allows for the experiences that you have with other people, or the experiences that you have with yourself. Because now I have a story with a good friend of mine, and we're like, oh my gosh, remember that time I made the pasta too spicy and we were dying? But now it's a memory. That was something that, like, it was an experience. And if the pasta would have tasted the same as it did the last time, what experience did that create? Oh, great, we had the same pasta. Cool. I think that it just allows for such beautiful moments, and it allows for spontaneity in your life. It allows for the unknown, and it allows you to start to release the grasp that you have on the fear of the unknown. Because when you start to experience more and more and more and more and more of the unknown, your fear starts to go away. Because what are you scared of? There's nothing to be scared of. It's just a new experience. You're able to put your faith and use your faith, put it to test, and use it to understand that it doesn't matter. What am I afraid of? It looking different than it did the last time? Okay, cool. Guess what? Maybe that's going to create an even better experience or an even better opportunity. So this is just my reminder to you to start to practice presence. You can do that in a multitude of ways, but the more that you start to incorporate being present in every moment and appreciating every moment for what it is, the more peaceful your life becomes, the more in flow state you become, because you're not trying to control anything, and you're able to live your life in a state of love, in a state of abundance, in a state of gratitude. Because no matter what the outcome, you are always grateful, you are always appreciative, you are always living for the experience. So this week, I always have a challenge for you. This week, my challenge for you is to practice presence in each moment. Practice slowing down. Practice taking time to express gratitude for things that you have never expressed gratitude for. Practice taking the time to do something that is out of your routine, out of your comfort zone, and allow yourself to feel what it feels like to do something new, to try something new, to taste something new, to go somewhere new. And your life is going to start to become more fulfilling the more and more that you practice faith, allowance, and surrendering. I'm sending you so much love and light as always, and I hope that you have a beautiful week.